It's buying and selling a home. Nothing's really changed in that space. To bring us the innovation that we need at speed and scale. And that's primarily the reason why we are expanding and we are investing. Only ranks number one with respect to how e-commerce has simplified the way you buy and sell anything. Where you can, you don't need a huge data center to set up to run any type of technology. You pretty much have this on-demand compute power available for you. These two trends probably rank number one when you look at the trends over the last decade.
Or somebody purchases a new home. So 10 trillion in total market, $1 trillion in additional new mortgages every year. And NATIONSTAR is the fourth largest servicer in the United States. So we're number 4 in the United States from a servicing standpoint. We're probably the number 11th or 12th originator in the United States. So we have significant size, we have significant scale. We have 2.5 million customers, and we have about $2 billion in revenue is what our run rate is now. And then we have a total of 7,000 employees, in the country today, or in the United States today. And so we, the company has been, around for 17, 18 years, and we've always been in the mortgage business. And really today, with our size and scale, we really believe that, that the mortgage industry has been underinvested in, that the consumer experience, the customer experience can be improved. And so we are really on a journey to keep the dream of homeownership alive in the United States and to improve that journey. I mean, we truly would like to improve the customer experience. It's arguably the largest investment that most Americans make is their home. And so we want to improve the experience by delivering them better tools, by delivering them a better service, a better process, more transparency, more communication. And I personally think there's a tremendous opportunity to do that. And I think as we continue on this journey, Chennai is going to be a big part of that. So we're very excited about the product development center here, and I'm excited to have these gentlemen very involved in that. And really, the Chennai Center is going to be doing a variety of things for us. One is clearly building new products, new technology, new processes to help the customer, to improve the customer experience. It also is going to be doing some operations here, and so we're extremely excited about it. I'm excited to be here. I think the health of the U.S. mortgage market, it's definitely healthier today than it was a few years ago. Delinquencies are down, the trends are improving. There's a lot of markets that have recovered completely from the crisis, and so we feel like it's a great place to be. And it's a very large market. There's a lot of opportunity there. I think if we are the player or the mortgage company that can provide the best service, I think there'll be a lot of victories ahead, and we'll continue to be a really dominant player in the market. So with that, I'll turn it over to Sridhar and let him provide more information.
Thanks, Jay.
Sure.
Ellarkum vanakkam. Good morning, and thanks for being part of this spectacular event. If you look at the technology innovation that has spanned the last decade, development work.
Yeah, I think from our perspective, we've had experience in India throughout the country with a variety of different partners. And I think when you look at Chennai, you look at the infrastructure, it's obviously one of the largest cities in India. You look at the infrastructure, you look at the universities, you look at its experience and depth in financial services, it was a very logical choice. And so that's really what it came down to.
What's your existing presence in India? Are you present here?
We don't have any, this is the first company-owned center, but we've partnered with different other entities for the last several years.
Okay. Is this also
more on an outsourced basis or a vendor basis.
Okay, is this also the first one outside US, development center?
Yes, for NATIONSTAR.
Okay. So earlier it was more of an outsourced model. Now you have your own sort of captive development center, isn't it?
Well, I think it would always be this is a technology product development center, and the other partnerships are more operational in nature. So there will be a blend, as we go forward, but this is clearly, we just feel like we can improve the customer experience immensely. We need better products, we need better tools, we need better technology, and this is, the place to do it.
You talked about digital, bringing digital flavor into the operations for customer experience. So which means you're planning to tie up with any startups here, or you have, startup is the flavor of the season here in India. So we're seeing some disruptive technologies coming. So is there a plan to tap that part of the development also?
No, not now. Look, I think we would prefer to build it ourselves. I think we would prefer to use Anand and his team, to build it. So no, I don't think you'll see us, do that. I think we have a lot of domain experience, clearly, right? And we have a lot of customers, so we have a lot of information and feedback from the tools that they want, the tools that they need. I think we're probably best served to build that.
Also, is this only for the digital plans, or to support some expanded services you've introduced recently in US? Or what will be the scope of works here? It's just for, as you mentioned, only for 3 areas, or do you see the scope to expand beyond that?
Well, I think the scope will be to focus on, we have a servicing business, we have an origination business, and so the focus will be on those 2 businesses. It'll be, helping the core operations, helping, improve the customer experience, all the tools and, processes that are involved there, that'll be the core focus. Not necessarily a different product line or anything like that. It'll be focused on mortgage, focused on making the customer experience better, and that'll be through new tools, and that'll be through enhancing existing tools.
So in simple terms, I just want to know, in servicing and origination, what do you think is currently lacking, and what do you want to fill up through this development through this work in Chennai?
Well, the servicing business, in the U.S. it's very regulated, it's very complicated. I think we're doing things as simple as every month we send a statement to the customer, right? And that statement is not the most user-friendly. So how can we make that mobile-friendly, web-friendly, improve the display, improve the language around the statement, to make it, a really informative and useful, process for the customer. There's tons of stuff we can do from a mobile standpoint, letting them know what's going on with their mortgage, what's going on with their neighborhood, property values. I mean, there's just a lot of tools that really ultimately it is, how do you make the customer, happier? How do you make tools that are more friendly, more useful, etc.? Is that specific enough?
On the origination side?
On the origination side, it's really more about information and status. It's similar, like when somebody goes through a refinance or they're buying a new home, they're very anxious to know, where is the process? Am I getting approved? What documents do I need to provide? And so I think again through mobile, technology, we're going to provide a lot more information, a lot more transparency around, here's where you're at in the process, here's what you need, to provide us, here's where, here's what you need to get approved. And again, just to make it a lot more usable. Today, it's the language is, very confusing. How do we make it simpler, cleaner, understandable, and give them tools that help them do that? So that's the focus.
You mean to say the US citizens don't search homes on their mobiles or whatever? Still going.
Sorry?
People in US,
Yeah.
buyers, don't they use mobiles for home search or any other?
They do, yeah. That's actually an area that has been invested in, and it's continued to get better, is the home search functionality. So you can go online and search different homes, but that's where it stops. So then they'll say, okay, I really like this home, I want to buy it. We're going to try to make that process much easier. Okay, can you get approved for a loan? Yes, okay, and here's what you need to do to get approved for a loan. Once you start that process, really communicating about how that's working, etc. So that there is some of that today, but it's not as good in my opinion as it can be.
So there's an absence of platforms that sort of take them to the full value chain. Is it?
Exactly. And then once they do get the loan, then the servicing business takes over, and that's where I was talking about how we can communicate a lot more there as well. So really improving that process, from end to end.
And
Yes.
Just to add to that, when you talk about the originations side of it, yes, they understand you need to provide some documentation to get a loan, but if you're employed, there's a set that you need to provide. If you're a business owner, what do you provide? If you're a independent consultant, what do you have? So there are variations in what is expected. The objective is to make that process very simple. And when they provide a document, using technology to quickly validate, verify, and communicate with the customer whether they've done the right, whether they've provided the right information, or there's something else that they need to provide. That's one element to it. And there's other ways for us to also integrate. There's ways for you to exchange information digitally through your bank, as an example. So building that interface or exchange is going to be a big step as well. That's where technology comes in as a key component to simplify the user experience part of it.
We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have close to 100 plus people now. The next step would be to continue that in parallel, because we have our technology stack is pretty diverse, right from the front end mobile space to the back end data. So we are now focusing more on data analytics and few other areas in this current phase. In parallel, given that we wanted our facility to formally be launched, we will be going for engineering and management graduates. The reason being, the engineering graduates are going to be playing a key part as part of any digital, mobile and other development. Management graduates, we have a lot of analytics, data analytics work and operations work, which has to closely tie with the technology. And they actually act as a bridge between business and IT. So we will focus on these two roles pretty much. We would like to partner with some of the leading campus universities here. Plan to do some road shows and also provide internship program as part of that.
Help in improving the process.
Yeah, I think it's some of the things we've already talked about, right? At the end of the day, the mortgage process there's many steps. There's a lot of manual steps in the process, and there's a lot of hand-holding in the process. So that requires people, and if you can improve the process where, there's more that communication is done digitally, more the updates are done via technology, I think you'll need less hands in the process. So I think it'll help us reduce expenses in some cases. More importantly, I think it's if we have a true differentiated user experience, so the technology is better than what's in the marketplace today, which I'm confident will be, I think we'll acquire a lot of new customers. You'll have new customers that want to get a loan from NATIONSTAR because we're delivering a more transparent, better process, and so that'll grow our revenues. So I think it'll be a combination of those. Only U.S. I think. The U.S. market is so large. There's plenty of opportunity there, and I think there's plenty of growth opportunities for us. So at least in the foreseeable future, it'll be just U.S.